Welcome back to part 2 of October's tarot read. So for this question, I asked about a frequency beam, and what I meant by that was a high vibrational frequency beam. I'm not talking about this October 4th nonsense. I'm talking about high vibrational light beaming down so strongly that people can't avoid to realize, like they can't avoid it. They have to realize that it's there. So I asked if we were going to get, because we've had little ones all along since the beginning of the summer especially, but I wanted to ask, was there going to be a huge, like a big one? So the overall is the moon, so I feel like this tells me oddly, there's something to do particularly with the moon. So maybe there's something that comes through the moon, there's something stemming from the moon, broadcasting from the moon. You know, you guys know I have my thoughts on the moon and that whole thing. So that's interesting because that's just interesting to this question actually. This is the past, so I get that there have been certain things that have got in the way. So whether it's how, like, what we're thinking and speaking has gotten in the way. So maybe people in the past weren't quite ready, but I feel like now we are, because then underneath it, we've got the win card. So this is like it's like a, you know, you've won or you've conquered or you're being recognized. So I do feel like there is going to be something with this that people are going to understand and recognize. And then we've got this independence card again here. So, and this is also like an ending card. You can look at it different ways. But this brings more independence to the world is the way I'm looking at it. So whatever happens definitely is having something to do with the moon. So I'm not quite sure exactly. Maybe I'll look at this separately again. It's to do with the moon, and it brings independence, physical independence to the world in general. And that could be a sovereignty, because we all know that this is a battle that we're in, is a battle for our sovereignty, our freedom, our souls, humanity, all that. And then going forward, we have the Page of Pentacles. So that tells me it's going to be not as big as what I'm asking, but there is going to be something to it. So I would say this is a yes, but it's not quite as big, but it's enough that it's going to flip and do what it needs to do in our human consciousness. Because this is also Pentacles, lots of Pentacles for these questions. This also means that it's going to cause a physical flip. So then we have the supportive questions. So this means that something breaks down the facade, because this could be like a showy card. You're putting up a heavy facade of either emotion or looks or whatever it is. And then we've got this card here, so that brings in more balance. Remember I said about Libra with the balance with the scales. So this tells me that this is going to happen during Libra season. Yep. Okay. So I feel like emotionally, we're going to be leaving some things behind. We're going to be leaving and grieving. This is what I get with this. But it brings us ultimately to more independence. This is an energy independence card. She's a manifester. She's fully in her power. She's intuitive. So I feel like we're going to know what needs to be walked away from. So that is very interesting. And I definitely resonate with the card read itself too. So stay tuned for part 3.